So anyway, the next day when I woke up, you'll remember I talked about this heavy lead weight. It was kind of the defining element of my depression at that point. This lead weight that was inside me, always making me miserable, was suicidal. So much so that, like I said, I called the number on the billboard and I was in an outpatient facility. So anyway, when I woke up, that lead weight, it was gone. It was gone. Now, bear with me. I was so used to it. I was so used to that lead weight that for just a millisecond of time, I wanted it back. Just a millisecond. I guess as human beings, when we get used to something always being with us, it's just a total shock to our system when all of a sudden it's gone. It only lasted a millisecond, and then I was greatly relieved. I was greatly relieved that it was gone. I was in a state of shock, and I'll illustrate that here shortly. But I also, your whole world is rocked when something like that just happens. You open your eyes and this lead weight that's always been there for I don't know how long. I don't know how many months or years it had been there. This was 26 years ago, but it was always there. It made me so miserable. I was thinking of killing myself. Strongly thinking of killing myself. So anyway, it's gone. And the only thing that had happened different is that I'd said that sinner's prayer the night before. That I basically, Jesus, if you're there, if you're real and you can help me, I'm yours. From the bottom of my heart. So I came to faith then also. I want to say instantly, but I probably was only within a few seconds. It was like that. What else could it be? What else could it be? Now, as far as being in shock, here's what I mean by being in shock. I was laying on that hair-infested couch that dog always slept on during the day, and I took one foot and I leaned it out of the couch, extended it out of the couch, and I went to tap the floor with my foot, make sure the floor was there. I really didn't know what was going on. It's kind of like if you didn't have a left arm and you woke up and you did have a left arm, you would think you were probably dreaming. It was something like that. It was just a weird state of shock. I was happy. I was very happy. And I slowly got up, and this is going to sound funny. When you all of a sudden miraculously come to faith, sometimes your mind can throw up crazy thoughts. And one of the thoughts that came to my mind is, okay, so Jesus is real, and then, you do the math, well then God's real. And I thought, so if God's real, he probably wants to kill me. Where that thought came from, anyway, but then I soon I soon thought to myself, well, if God sent Jesus and Jesus just basically healed this lead weight out of my chest, I don't think he doesn't want to kill me. So I threw that thought out right away too. But anyway, just some human elements there I'm throwing in. So what did I do? Well, I went and a couple things. I remember I actually went back to the mental health place. You know, I was enrolled. I actually went back. I don't know if I completed the course or because I thought maybe they could help me. Okay, I'm going to have to back up. A second. The lead weight was gone. And strange as it sounds, I still had a degree of depression. It wasn't totally gone. I know I've heard of people being cured, you know, of whatever, something 100%. That's not what happened to me. The lead weight was gone. The thing that was like driving me to suicide was gone. But I still had some depression. And it was, I don't know if it was only 15% of what I had before or 10, but there was still some there. And so I do remember I did go back to the mental health place because I was enrolled in it. I told my work I was going to go there. I can't remember all the reasons I went back, other than I know I told the ladies running it, one woman in particular, you know, that I had faith now that, you know, I'd found Jesus, and she kind of, you know, she was like, oh, you found Jesus, you know, kind of, you know, rolled her eyes a little bit. That's all right. She wasn't negative at all, but she was just kind of, I think she'd heard it before. So anyway, and I can't remember how many more sessions I went to. But that's not the point. That's not the point. I can't remember if it was because, now I'm thinking about it. I can't remember if it was because I thought there was something good that could come out of it. Because like I said, I still have some depression. I was not suicidal though. I want to be clear on that. The lead weight was gone. And it never came back then, and it's never been back since. Anyway, so then the next, one of the other things I did right away, of course, is I went and I told Rita, and the lady in Jim Thorpe that had led me in the Sinner's Prayer, and she introduced me to her mother. And her mother prayed for me for the baptism of the Holy Spirit, which was another incredible spiritual experience that I'm not going to go into right now. But it also, it was incredible and did unbelievable. It probably, anyway, I'm not going to go into that right now. So after that, I think I'll work towards wrapping this up. I went back home to Minnesota. I went to look at my friend Dan. You know, this was back before everybody had cell phones, and so I hadn't stayed in touch with him. I went to look him up, and unfortunately Dan, I didn't realize how low Dan was in life. I didn't realize he was like kind of along the same path that I was in. I knew he wasn't happy, but I didn't realize he was suicidal, and Dan had killed himself. That was really tragic and sad. So I want to say that, okay, now I've shared what's happened to me, and now I'm going to give a little bit of advice, or I'm just going to do a little more sharing, and then I'll be done. I think I'll take a little break first.